Aljamain Sterling versus Brian Ortega. Who's going to win this fight? Well, first of all, who's going to win this fight? Let's take a look at their latest performances, in which Brian Ortega fought Yair Rodriguez for a second time, in which Yair Rodriguez dropped Brian Ortega twice in round one.
Kind of exposed his game plan. He's backed up by a left.
But then Brian Ortega brought it back, got Yair Rodriguez in an arm triangle choke, and made him tap in round 3.
Oh, that's in.
And he's got 4 minutes.
That's it. It's over. He got it.
Brian Ortega.
And after this, Brian Ortega wanted to fight Diego Lopez, in which Diego Lopez dropped Brian Ortega in round 1.
That was so quick. Oh, Ortega goes down again.
Diego Lopez landed some great combinations, dropped Brian Ortega once again in round 3.
Than I was even then.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I be composed?
Oh, he stole it.
And Diego Lopez won by decision. Now let's take a look at Aljamain Sterling's latest performances, in which he fought Calvin Kattar, in which Aljamain Sterling started off great, took control of the whole entire fight, won every single round, and Aljamain Sterling won by decision. Now after this, Aljamain Sterling went on to fight Mozaev, in which it was a very close fight. Both for their wrestling and grappling was great, both at their moments in this fight, but Mozaev won by decision.
Now let's talk about this fight. Well, I think we all know that we are expecting to see both men have some good grappling exchanges in this fight. But I have to be honest, I do not want to see Brian Ortega win this fight. And I say that for many reasons, like the fact that he doesn't pose a threat towards anybody at the highest level, as he has so many weaknesses like his dog shit striking and he has a glass jaw. The only thing he has to offer is his jiu-jitsu skills, but first he has to beat Aljamain Sterling before we can even talk about what can be next for him. But anyways, in this fight, I'm not expecting to see too much crazy action on the feet, simply because both men haven't been performing all that great when it comes to striking. And it makes sense why. I mean, both men are known for having crazy knockouts and being dangerous strikers. So I would say on the feet, it's anybody's game. We can either see Brian Ortega being the one on the front foot, letting his hands go, or we can see Aljamain Sterling controlling the pace of the fight and pressuring Brian Ortega. But where things are going to change and where we would definitely see a clear winner is when either man decide to clinch and take the fight to the ground. And in that case, I got Aljamain Sterling winning this fight. I believe he's going to be the one shooting for takedowns. And when he does shoot for the takedowns, I believe he's going to be very consistent until he gets it. And I do see him gaining top control. So in the end, I got Aljamain Sterling beating Brian Ortega. I believe he's going to be more busy on the feet and he would dominate with his wrestling and grappling. The only way that Brian Ortega can win this fight is by getting Aljamain Sterling in a very tricky situation and submitting him, but I don't see that happening. And afterwards, after Aljamain Sterling beats Brian Ortega, he'll be ready to fight the top contenders. And honestly, although he lost to Mozaev, both men showed their grappling and strengths in that fight. So I do believe that Aljamain Sterling will give a lot of the top contenders problems because of his dominant wrestling and grappling.